onto the mat in black for the Scarlet Knights.
Yeah, Richie Lewis coming in, number 12 rank in the Intermat rankings, 5-1 versus top 20 opponents. Jake Danishek, however, not ranked, 9 wins in his last 10. He's had some nice success, 5-1 in the Big Ten.
And Jake Danishek, the redshirt freshman, finishing up here, rounding it out on senior night for the Hoosiers. 14-7 on the year, 3-5 in the Big Ten. He lost his bout versus Purdue 5-4 by decision. We see the early 2-point takedown.
Yeah, this is going to be another uphill battle for the Hoosiers. Danishek, although he comes in at 14-6, 3-4 in the Big Ten.
As we see the wrestlers go back into referee's position. Lewis up top, Danishek on the bottom. Mentioned Lewis, the 12th ranked wrestler. A junior from Toms Rivers, New Jersey. Has done a nice job since transferring over from Central Iowa Junior Community College. Both wrestlers fall out of bounds. 19-3, 5-1 in the Big Ten. He had a takedown with 8 seconds left to beat the number 9 wrestler in the nation, Brian Murphy of Michigan. See if he can replicate some of that same success here against Danishek.
And once again, we see it again. Rutgers getting ahead early with that 2-point takedown, and another uphill battle for the Hoosiers as they have really just been up against it against a far superior Rutgers team tonight.
The last bout we'll have here tonight, Indiana just trying to make the scoreboard look a little bit more respectable, headed towards their 5th straight loss. Both coaches talked about the toughness of the Big Ten schedule. There are really no nights off. Usually that's just a saying. In this conference, that's more than a saying. It's a religion.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is – I was talking to the Indiana SID, Nick Reith, and he was saying, like, this is the pros right now. And, I mean, this is – Big Ten wrestling is the top of the country. And we're seeing it tonight with these two top-ranked teams, and then we've seen Iowa and Penn State that are also up there at the top of the rankings.
You see Lewis still with just a 2-0 lead. And now a 2-point near fall awarded to Lewis. And he takes a 4-0 edge, 1:15 remaining in the first period. Back into referee's position. Lewis on the top. Danishek on the bottom. Danishek with the early escape point, though, and he finds himself onto the scoreboard, trailing by just 3 now. 1 minute 5 seconds remaining in the first period. Although a big riding time edge early on here for Lewis.
Yeah, that was
1 minute 25 seconds.
That was a big point there from Danishek. You just got to chip away at this against a top-ranked opponent like Lewis. Nothing is going to come easy. You just got to slowly chip away at it.
Yeah, the redshirt freshman rounding out the lineup here on senior night. Rutgers looking for a little bit of revenge. And Coach Goodell, when he was asked about, are you looking for revenge? Would it be nice to spoil somebody else's senior night when you just got your senior night spoiled? And he sort of said, yeah, sure. But at the end of the day, we're hungry for a win no matter what. And more than losing on senior night, we lost, and we've lost 2 in a row. And, and that's just not what we do.
Yeah, I mean, senior night's just kind of the extracurricular stuff, but when you're on the mat, you got to get your job done, and especially coming in with 2 straight losses, you're going to try to get back in the win column.
And Lewis with 2 more points on the takedown, doing a nice job there late in the first period. 7 seconds to go. He holds a 6-1 lead, and over 1 minute and 30 seconds of riding time, and that'll be the end of the first period.
Yeah, Lewis, the far superior opponent, wrestlers in this bout. Danishek really just another uphill battle for the Hoosiers, and it's been like that all night. It's just they haven't been able to get it going too much.
A 6-1 lead for Lewis here in the second period. 1 minute 36 seconds of riding time for him. Lewis, the 12th ranked wrestler here in our last bout of the night.
Kind of feel bad for that Rutgers fan that they got thrown out. He's missing a good one for his team right now.
Yeah, he would have seen a good match. His complaint to the referees as he was leaving the building was control the match. And don't know if I could say it for the referees, but Rutgers certainly has controlled the match all night long.
Yeah, and Indiana looks like we have a some blood there from the nose of Danishek, so he'll get that cleaned up.
That's exactly what it is, some blood on the nose of Danishek. Trainers attending to him right now, throwing a few gauze up the nose, up the nostrils, and he's ready to go right back at it, it seems like. He's having a discussion with head coach Dwayne Goldman in his 23rd season for the Hoosiers after wrestling in the Big Ten with Iowa. Danishek ready to give it another go.
And he's going to, looks like, start on the bottom here and against Richie Lewis. Already up 8-1, minute 38 of riding time. Danishek's going to need something here quick. It's getting late early.
Okay, 26-9 edge, as we see nearly another takedown there. Could be coming clearly Lewis with the advantage over the inexperienced Danishek. Danishek, the redshirt freshman, has had some success this season in the Big Ten, 3 wins. But clearly Lewis overpowering him, 5-1 in the Big Ten this season. And he's a junior, so clearly an age and an experience difference between these two wrestlers. So we see a 1-point escape for Danishek, and both wrestlers fall out of bounds. 58 seconds remaining in the second period of our final bout of the night.
Yeah, and just looking at this match overall, it looks like we have a little blood on the mat, so they'll get that cleaned up. Rutgers really came out, and it was really just Nate Jackson and Elijah Oliver for the Hoosiers. But other than that, it was all the Scarlet Knights just getting all over the Hoosiers.
Yeah, Rutgers really controlling things from the outset. We did see a pin on the side for the Hoosiers by Elijah Oliver. But outside of that, it's been a bit of a long night here, as I'd imagine the blood is from the bloody nose of Danishek.
It looks like
we see Danishek's escape point here on the replay. Did a nice job there. He tries to hang around in this one. 55 seconds to go in the second period, excuse me. .45 seconds to go in the second period. 8-2 edge for Lewis. Lewis, the 12th ranked wrestler. A dominant edge in the riding time as well. Now over 2 minutes, 2 minutes and 10 seconds to be exact. And I believe that was a dangerous wrestling call, a warning. Warning handed out by the officials. They'll get the wrestlers back to neutral position. 26-9 edge on the team scoreboard. So even with the comeback here in this last bout, it wouldn't mean much for the overall record of Indiana, who with this loss will fall to 6-6 on the season, 3-6 in the Big Ten, and 500, 4-4 at home. Rutgers going to improve their record as the second period ends there. We head into the third period of our final bout. Rutgers, the 15th ranked team in the nation, looking to go to 14-5, up to 500 in Big Ten, and looking to get their third road win of the season. Indiana has taken a dip in the rankings through this losing streak, now at 22. Could see themselves fall outside of the top 25 after this loss here.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And I mean, it's really just been Jackson and Oliver for the Hoosiers. And other than that, it really hasn't been too much else. I mean, maybe we thought Garrett Goldman or some of the seniors would come out with a little bit more fire here on senior night, but the Scarlet Knights really tamed that down pretty quickly, and not a whole lot in that. But looking at Jake Danishek, he'd come in, he'd won 3 of his last 4, Iowa being his only loss. That was a bad night for the Hoosiers, losing 45-0 as a team, but 0-3 against ranked opponents really tells the story in this one.
As Danishek is rewarded with an escape point, a minute and a half here to go, so no matter what he does at this point, it'll still be at least a 1-minute riding time edge. So, and now a 2-point takedown edge for Richie Lewis as his lead extends to 7, with the riding time going to add at least 1 more point, going for the major decision win, which would put this one at 30-9. See if Danishek can fight back here. So he gets the escape point. Looked like Lewis let that happen. He's content to get that point back and then go for the takedown.
Yeah, I mean, and just looking at the scoreboard, I mean, last time these two teams faced off, it was 29-9. It looks like it's a flip of the script this time, as Rutgers looking like they're going to get up towards that 30-point mark.
That's what it should be as we come under 45 seconds left in this one. Indiana trailing 26-9 on the team scoreboard as Lewis is rewarded with another 2-point takedown, a 12-4 edge in this bout. Under 30 seconds to go here in the third period. He'll get an extra point there as well for riding time, which now is coming up on 3 minutes.
And taking a look at this Rutgers bench, as you just saw there on the screen, they're looking pretty excited. Going to get out of here with a win, and then over on the Indiana side, just kind of laid back and not too happy as this one's coming to a close.
I don't know a lot for certain, but I knew one thing. One of these teams' losing streaks would end here tonight. It's going to be the road team, the Rutgers Scarlet Knights, as the third period of our final bout ends and the team will shake hands. Mentioned 2008 was the last matchup between these two teams. Indiana took a 29-9 win as we see Richie Lewis walk off for the W.